بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعان فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون صدق الله العظيم. Everybody in the world have some type of problem in their life, be it on a personal level, be it on a family issue, be it on a community level, and the whole ummah as a whole globally are in problems. And sometimes we ask somebody to help us, to give us a hand, and they try, or maybe they don't give us a hand, maybe they don't help, they ignore us. Like somebody said it so beautifully that two people you can never forget. One is the person who helped you when you really needed it, and one is the person who didn't help you when you really needed it. So these type of people you can never forget. Sometimes when the people who you need the most, at the most needed time, and at that time they let you down, then you get heartbroken. But the verse which I recited before you, Allah, amazing. Allah is saying, yesterday we heard it in the Taraweeh in every masjid. Allah is saying to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي, when my slaves ask you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, regarding me, فَإِنِّي قَرِيب. Allah did not say that, say to them that I am near. Allah said, I am near. The ulama, they mention, this is how the ayah should have been. That when my slaves ask you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, regarding me, so say to them, I am near. But Allah didn't say this. Allah said, when my slaves ask you regarding me, then I am near. Allah is saying that I am so close to them. When they want to turn to me, they don't need anybody in between, not even you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If they are in need of me, then they can just ask from me, they can make dua from me, they can turn to me without anybody else in between. Just turn directly to Allah. The world will let us down, but Allah will never let us down. Today, on a personal level, we turn here and there. Some people may help, some people. But when it comes to ummah issues, global issues, political issues, then we always look up to the, we make dua for the ummah, and then we give charity, sadaqah, whatever we can, as much as we can. But when it comes to like deep down in our hearts, whether we want to admit it or not, deep down in our heart, we believe that until the big superpowers, until the big people who have powers, until they don't come in between and sort the issues for the Muslims, it doesn't gonna get better. As if we feel that somebody besides Allah will sort the issue out. The 2 billion Muslims that we have today in the world, subhanallah, if they were to turn to Allah sincerely, do you think that will not change the situation of the world? Especially in this month of Ramadan. We have so many moments of du'as to be accepted. Time for suhoor, before fajr, tahajjud time, then before iftar, after every salah, after reading Quran, after giving charity. Then the fasting person's dua is accepted anyway. Like just yesterday I was reading somewhere that how do we make sure that I don't miss Laylatul Qadr? How do I make sure that inshallah this Ramadan I'm going to try my best not to miss it? So to do 3 things. Number 1, ask Allah sincerely that, oh Allah, make me able to make it to Laylatul Qadr and to make the most out of it. Ask Allah sincerely, number one. Number two, make sure you read your Fajr and Isha with Jama'ah. Because the hadith of Uthman radiallahu anhu, Man salla al-Isha'a fi Jama'ah, the person who reads his Isha with Jama'ah, he will get the reward of standing half of the night. And Man salla al-Subha fi Jama'ah, the person who will stand Fajr as well in Jama'ah, فَكَأَنَّمَا قَامَ اللَّيْلَ كُلَّ, as if he has stood the whole night in front of Allah. And number three, every day make a habit of reading 2 rak'at, 4 rak'at, 2 rak'at, 4 rak'at tahajjud. And inshallah, if Laylatul Qadr comes, then you will get the reward of Laylatul Qadr, inshallah. One night better than 1,000 months. 1,000 shahr, 1,000 months. 80 years in one night you will get the reward. So just one incident, inshallah. And then to make us understand how Allah is ready to help us if we are ready to turn to Him. Dua does not mean just making dua, asking Allah, oh Allah help me. Dua means to beg Allah, beseech Allah, oh Allah, nobody will ever help me besides you. The world has let me down. The world has deserted us. The only hope we have is you. Turn to Allah. So in the time of Harun Rashid, Harun was a very pious king. So mashallah, he used to rule a lot of land as well. Not only one little country, they're looking at 3 continents. 3 continents. The whole of Middle East, Africa, parts of Asia, all the way to nearly Spain, all the way to Cyprus. All that is Turkey, all that is under the rule. So there was a certain news that spread that in a certain area, there's a lot of robbery taking place. A lot of people are getting robbed, houses getting broken into, people's things are going missing. Now what's happening? All of a sudden robbery is in the increase in this area. What's happening? So an investigation was done. And let's see what's going on. So when the investigation was carried out, then they came to a conclusion that it's the same 10 people, the team of 10, who are doing the robbery everywhere. Same 10. So Harun, when he found out, he told all his soldiers, all his security, all his policemen, that I want you to go and arrest each and every 10 of them, and I want to see all 10 of them in front of me. So now all of them, they were out in order to arrest these 10. So they found out which area they were going to be in, or they were in, or something. So they went there, they took hold of all of them, and as they were arresting them, one of them managed to escape. He ran away. So now they thought amongst themselves that if we go back by Harun with only 9, our job could be at stake. We could get fired. What kind of work did you do? I told you I want to see all 10 in front of me, you only brought 9. How did that person run away? So in order to save their honor, their nose, in order to save their job, they just grabbed anybody to make up that 10th person. So they saw another farmer, bichara, he was doing his little farming in his farm or something. Just went, arrested him. He said, Harun wants to see you. Now this farmer is thinking, what have I done? What have I done? Why am I getting arrested? But they never heard anything. Now they brought all 10 of them in front of Harun. And now this person, he doesn't know what's going on, what's happening, why he's here, why did he get arrested. But anyway, he's trying to make his voice heard that what have I done, why am I here? But that's what everybody says, all the robbers will say the same thing. So Harun didn't believe him. He said, well, you have been brought in front of me with the thieves, so you might be one of them. He didn't know the story behind it. So anyway, now they sentences were told to them that you will be in prison for the next 6 months or 1 year or whatever, and your family, and they will have to pay so much fine, penalty. Once they come and they pay so much penalty and they give back the things that you have stolen, then you are free to go. So everybody were put into the cells. Now everybody are writing letters to their family, and they are saying that this is the situation I am in, and please come and arrange for my release and everything. So after a few months, one person is gone. Few months later, another one is gone. Now they were professional robbers. They knew how to play the game. Some of them, they are so clever. They know how to get in. They know how to get out. In fact, they enjoy the life inside more than outside. It's a free food, and it's like a holiday inside. No bills to pay. Allah knows. So now all of them, one by one, they're out. Few months later, one is out. Within a year, all of them are out, except for that one, who shouldn't have been there in the first place. But anyway, so all the prison officers, they come to him and they say to him that, are you not going to write letters to your family or tell them to come with your penalty? She said, who shall I write to? I don't even know. I am just a poor person. I go to work, do a little bit of farming, just about make little bit of money to bring little bit of food to the table for that day. Now I don't even know whether my family has eaten anything or not. I don't even know if they are alive still or not. It's been so many weeks, so many months. And if they are alive and I write a letter to them saying that this is the situation I am in and you need to pay so much in order for my release, then whatever little bit of life they have remaining in them, that will also finish. That where are we going to get all this money from? So the prison officer said, you could be here for the rest of your life. You better start writing something. So one day he called the prison officer and said, okay, get me a pen. Get me a paper, let me write. So he started writing a letter. من عبد الفقير إلى رب الجليل. From hopeless, helpless, weak, innocent slave to the Almighty, powerful Allah. And then he wrote, oh Allah, I don't know how I have come into this situation and what has ended up me in this position, but I have nobody else to turn to beside you. You are my only hope, and I know you will never let me down. And then that's all he wrote. And then he gave it to the prison officer. He said, just go outside and just let it in the wind, blow it away. So the prison officer, they started laughing. They said, before we used to think maybe you're a bit loose, but now you've just proved it. What are you going to do blowing the letter outside? Say, you do it. You do it. So as soon as the prison officer, he blew the letter outside, let it in the wind, Harun is taking his qaylula, afternoon nap, and Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes into his dream. He says, Harun, you are sleeping? May Allah give us a dream where we see Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our dreams. The whole day we spend loving Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, following his sunnah, sending durood upon him. Will Allah not give us dreams of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the night? But we need to show that love. We need to show that attraction. Wallah, I want it. I love him. We need to show that sincerity. So the Prophet ﷺ came into his dream and he said, Harun, you are sleeping? How dare you sleep? Get up now. There is an innocent person of my ummah in the prison. You have imprisoned him wrongly. Get up right now. Go to the prison yourself. Don't send anybody else. Go yourself. Take him out of, ask forgiveness from him. Take him out of the prison yourself. Bring him to your palace with honor, with respect. Beg him for forgiveness. Once he forgives you, give him money, give him gifts, give him everything you can. If he doesn't have a home, build a home for him and send him back to his family honorably with respect as much as you can. Otherwise, if you will not do this yourself, I will not intercede for you on the day of Qiyamah. So immediately Harun, he got up. His sleep is lost. Immediately he's going, making his way to the prison. So everybody, all the wazir, all the people, they said, what's happening? He said, no, I need to go myself. He said, please. He said, no, my intercession on the day of Qiyamah is at stake. He goes to the prison, he makes his way to the cell, he opens the cell, he sees that person in one corner doing the zikr of Allah, poor person, simple person. So he said, you are the greatest wali of Allah. Ask forgiveness from him, brings him into the palace honorably, showers him with blessings and bounties and gifts, sends him home honorably. Now that person doesn't need to work for the rest of his life. He's got so much. Through that few months or a year of difficulty which he was imprisoned wrongly, which he had to go through the difficulty, but he turned to Allah. Now Allah has put him in such a position that he's enjoying a king life for the rest of his life. If he hadn't gone through that problem in between, he will still be doing his little bit of farming, still making his ends meet, still bringing a little bit of food to the table every day. He will still be doing that. Sometime Allah puts us in a problem to see how we will turn to Him. And if we turn to Him properly, sincerely, the next thing Allah has for us waiting, we can't even imagine. We can never imagine. Today we'll be thinking, why am I in this problem? What have I done wrong? What did that person do wrong? Not every time because I'm in a problem that it's because I have done something wrong. Because Allah wants me to put me in a better situation that I am in. Allah wants me to shower me with more than what He has given me now. Yeah, this is like a little test Allah has put me in between. The ummah is going through problems. Everybody is saying, where is the help of Allah? We as a whole ummah need to turn to Allah. And if we turn to Allah sincerely, the next century or the future of the ummah seems very, very good than how it has ever been. But some people, they feel totally hopeless. Qiyamah is very near. Ummah is totally, going towards destruction, failure. Ummah's blood is cheap. No! We should never feel hopeless. When we have Allah in front of us, Allah is there, and we feel hopeless. That is why somebody said it so beautifully. Allah gives, never takes. If Allah has taken anything away from you, it's a sign that He wants to give you more. It's a sign He wants to give you more. One incident just comes to mind, inshallah, then with this we finish. In the time of Dawud alayhi salam, one woman, she used to do a little bit of sewing. Now Dawud alayhi salam used to be the prophet of the time, and he was the king of the time as well. So he was the prophet of Allah, and he was the king. And he was the judge. So people used to come to him with the problems, with the issues, because he was the ruler, he was the king. So one day one woman comes and she says that, oh Dawood, tell me something. She said, what? She says, Allah just or unjust? Is Allah just or unjust? She says, of course Allah is just. Allah doesn't do zulm on anybody, Allah doesn't oppress anybody, Allah doesn't. She says, every day I do my little bit of sewing, knitting, and I make some, little pillows or some towels or something, and I take it to the market and I sell it, and I make a little bit of money out of it, and I come and that feeds my family for the day. Now today, as I had done my knitting, and I was on my way to the market, and that whatever I had knit was behind me, I was holding it behind my back. A bird came and snatched it away and flew away. So what am I going to sell today? And what are my family going to eat today? Is Allah just or unjust? Why is Allah doing this to me? Is Allah just or unjust? He just kept on repeating, is Allah just or unjust? Is Allah just or unjust? Is Allah just or unjust? So Dawud alayhi salam is trying to calm her down. Don't worry, don't worry. Allah is very merciful. Allah is very kind. Allah has something better for you. Just as she is still repeating the same thing and Dawud alayhi salam is still trying to calm her, two people they come with a whole bag of gold. I say, oh Dawud, all yours. Do whatever you want to, give it to whoever you want, at your service. So, and they started going away. So Dawud alayhi salam called them, please, first tell me the story behind it. What's going on? Who are you? Where did you get this from? She said, oh Dawud, we are businessmen. We were going somewhere in the ship for our business, and there was a bit of a shipwreck, and we were about to sink, and we were in need of something to cover the shipwreck. And we made dua to Allah that, oh Allah, if you take us out of this situation, then all the profit that we make from this business will be in your path, in the path of Allah. So just then a bird came and dropped a piece of cloth, which was just enough to cover that what was needed to be covered. And that's how we managed to come to safety. And as we have promised to Allah, this is all in the path of Allah, do whatever you want with it. Dawud alayhi salam turned to the woman. He said, this is all yours. Now you tell me, is Allah just or unjust? Is Allah just or unjust? May Allah grant all of us understanding. This month of Ramadan is to turn to Allah. Beg Allah. Allah wants to give. Are we ready to take? Allah is there for us. Allah wants to listen to us. The beauty is that Allah knows what we are going to ask from Him. He still listens to us. That's the beauty. And remember, when Allah says, I will accept your dua, Allah will definitely accept your dua. But there is always three answers to a dua. Yes, I will give it to you. Or number two, I will give it to you, but not now. Maybe the time is not correct. A 3-year-old, he says, I want a car, my son, my father, I want a car. The father says, yes, when you pass your driving, when you become 18, 19, then I will buy you a car. But this is not the right time for you. You're asking me now, but I will give it to you when the time comes. So Allah is saying, yeah, when the time comes, 5 years later, 10 years later, I will get whatever you are asking for. Or number three, whenever we make dua to Allah for something, Allah says, oh my slave, you are asking this from me, but I have something better for you. May Allah first of all give me the ability to turn to Him sincerely with all our issues. Give all of us the ability as a whole ummah to turn to Him. Problems come from Allah, and the solution to the problem also comes from Allah. We need to build that connection with Allah. Allah has given us this month of Ramadan to get connected. If we are well connected with Allah, then one dua will do the job. May Allah make that a reality. Ameen wa sallallahu wa sallam ala rasulina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.